Jagdish, you are a Mason in Spilsby. You're a GP by profession and you're really into the psychology of life and people. And you're particularly, on this video today, we're going to talk about how you can help the charity stewards with the psychology of giving to charity. What are the main points that you want to get across in this chat today to help the charity stewards hit that? I know we're not having a target, but...
Sure. I think the main points are to understand why people want to give, what makes them give, and why, more importantly, do they not give. And the latter is the most important. Those small number who do not contribute regularly, why are they not giving? What are the barriers? And how can we help those brethren? And second message is, giving isn't all about money. The more involvement we have, the greater the involvement, participation, that's giving. For me, busy GP, I can put money out of my pocket and give, for example. Greater giving is somebody who organizes an event. Now, that takes days sometimes, enormous amount of effort. Those people are equally, if not more important. The more people are involved in a given lodge, it's a greater success. Key is to identifying different talents, different people with different interests and hobbies. Get them to develop something in their area. Find the golfers, find the shooters, find the clay pigeon shooter, whatever thing they can organize locally. Secondly, we like to give to people where we can relate to an event and to generate what's known in the psychological terms as emotional stimulus. So, national example, everybody can relate to Gary Lineker. His son developed leukemia. Look at the enormous amount of effort and work he's put in, millions he's raised for charity because of something personal to him. So, how do we know what's personal to our members? Find out, talk to them. I gave some examples downstairs. We're all elderly, we're all male. Prostate cancer is very important to us. We're all at the near death than living. Lots of old age issues are important to us. So, find out what's important to the brethren and organize events around that. Because once they understand how important these charities are and personal to them, they are more likely to contribute.
So you're saying that probably doing the events will actually stimulate them to actually give money, the ones that won't.
Exactly.
Is that the big reason why people don't give money?
One of the biggest reasons is they don't understand. I just was talking to a brother downstairs, flying back from the airplane. They said, would you like to give to our charity? And he said, what charity? What do they do? That's a question we all ask when we want to give. Where's our money going to go? How is it going to be used? And how is it going to benefit us as well as the community? Let's be honest, we human beings are selfish. We like to think about ourselves first. How is Lincolnshire going to benefit? So explaining to them, the example I gave, rather than just hand a plate out, people want to hear the story. People want to hear what's being done and why it's being done. So I could stand up for 1 minute and say, we need X amount of repairs in the lodge. Our lodge has been here since 18, so it's a historical thing. Repairing this will enable the brethren to have better facilities by doing X, Y, and Z. Rather than say, here's a plate, here's money, this is for the building fund. No. You've explained where the money is going to go, what it's going to do, and how it will benefit the brethren.
So basically, the charity stewards have almost got to create a story which gets people to not logically buy in, but empathetically buy in with their hearts.
Exactly. It's called the emotional stimulus. They can relate to something. Like if you can't relate to something, you're less likely to give. So we need to create where people listen to a story. You go and say, a children in need website, there are little stories about people's lives. And that generates empathy. That generates stimulus. Stories create a relationship. Pictures. Events.
But it's interesting because I do know that the senior guys who are running the festival have taken on board exactly what you've said. And they're creating story videos, because video is a very powerful medium.
Absolutely.
To get people's story across. The thing that blew my mind about the festival is that each year MCF gives nigh on £200,000 to 72 Masonic families in Lincolnshire.
That's fantastic.
You know, it goes on stuff like Wainfleet and it goes on giving big checks to sailing places, but the bulk of it goes back to ourselves and our families. And you and I, we've been at that northeast
Absolutely.
corner and asked, would you give them freely if you couldn't? And we've all said yes. And
Absolutely.
this is your time, isn't it?
Absolutely, and charity always comes back home. The more you give, these are not just myths. It's only by giving are we going to receive.
Definitely. Is there anything else that you want to get across to the charity stewards or any Lincolnshire brethren out there?
Most important thing is don't be afraid to ask. It's how we ask. If you say, put a plate out, no. And if you said to somebody, can you please help?
Well,
It's a very powerful difference.
It is very powerful.
Okay? It's a very powerful difference.
Yes, because because humans love to help, don't they?
We all want to help inside us. There's altruism in us. We want to help. We want to do good, generally. All human beings have some good in them. And if you said to somebody, please help, as opposed to please give, nobody ever says, I'm not going to help you. And help isn't all about money, as I said earlier. It's about physical help, which is perhaps more important.
By giving your time, you'll get more buy-in, and eventually those that probably wouldn't have put their hand in the pocket might.
Exactly. So initially you can involve them just by getting them to put some time in. Once they're involved, they see the relevance of it, they're more likely to then even financially contribute.
Would it be fair to say that probably you might give advice to the charity stewards to actually look at the brethren in the lodge and actually almost profile them and work out which way they would go forward to attack them? I'd say attack in a nice way.
Well, how he can get them involved is
Yes.
probably the better way. And this is where involve somebody senior who knows the brethren and say, that's his talent, that's what he likes doing, that's his hobby. And then to think creatively and say, right, he's a good organizer. He always does the ladies' night. He'll organize an event.
Yes.
Okay? He's a good financial guy. He can do this. Okay? He loves his sports. Team. No one asking me to organize anything. I'm used to having nurses and peers doing things. I can't organize anything, but I do what I'm good at.
And if you do what you're good at, you'll enjoy it.
Absolutely.
We'll raise the money that we so richly need to raise.
Use the
and enjoy
brethren
it.
to what they're good at, use their talents, and then you create a good team and make it fun.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks. Lovely talking to you.